works with guys. Anytime you do anything remotely sensitive, heartwarming, anything that's going to make you more of a loving, caring individual, immediately all your guy friends suggest that maybe, just maybe, you want to suck a dick. Oh, it's brutal. Even if you do something smart, right? Like it's raining out, he's got an umbrella. What a fag! Oh my God! What are you, afraid of the water? Put your shoulders up, you fucking homo.
I don't like birds. There, I admit it. I can't fucking stand birds. You know, they're such fucking cunts, right? You know, they're either making too much goddamn noise, they're shitting on your fucking car right after you washed it, or, you know, you walk. I mean, occasionally you'll come across one that, I don't know, can fucking ride a miniature tricycle, you know. And, I don't know, fucking say hello or some shit, you know. But most fucking birds are just a bunch of cunts, right? You walk, like, for example, I was coming home from dropping my son off at school, right? And we have these fucking birds that, you know, they nest in the fucking overhang on the front of my fucking house, right over the porch and shit. And, you know, every year, I think they're turtle doves, I think is what they are. And, you know, I never fuck with them. But every time they see me, they fucking skitter away like I'm coming after them. You know, there isn't anything, I mean, what are they, like a spoonful of meat? You know, you're not, I don't know, do fucking doves taste like chicken? Do all birds taste the same? You know, does like chicken represent all birds on the taste spectrum? I mean, have you ever noticed that chicken never really, well, of course it wouldn't fucking, you know, it wouldn't differ in taste depending on chicken. I mean, I guess it could, right? Because obviously, like, you buy chicken from one of these chicken joints, right? The fried chicken joints, KFC or Popeyes or, what's the one that I saw in DC? Church's Chicken. You know, they definitely, but I don't know if it's the meat that tastes different. I think that has everything to do with the fucking herbs and spices. By the way, fucking China, I think it's China. They have a rule about like imports. I know that there's like a fucking trade war going on. I'm not gonna fucking talk about this or talk about that, but I guess they have some sort of fucking rule that you can't sell your shit in China unless you hand over the you know, the details of how shit is made, right? That's why when, you know, if you ever watch videos of like shit that fucking China stole from other people or whatever, like they have their own version of the fucking Mini Cooper. You know, they have their own fucking iPhones or versions of the iPhone. You know, basically China does a lot of, I don't know, stealing of fucking intellectual property. Well, I don't know. It's not really stealing if part of the deal in the contract is, hey, you can sell your shit here, but you got to tell us how you make it. And how this ties into my hatred of chickens is that they have to, I mean, they have a fucking KFC, right, in China, so they must know what's in the secret recipe. Does anybody care about this shit? You know, halfway through it, I realized that I don't. You know, I don't like fucking birds. Okay. You know, other than you know, being battered and fucking thrown in a pot, there really is. I mean, I guess you have. I mean, they don't really serve any purpose, right? But you have the fucking canary. Do they still do that? Where they send the canary down the fucking mine shaft, and if it dies, then they're like, I guess we can't fucking dig here. Like, how does that work? Right? Because, I mean, do they release the fucking canary, or do they carry the canary like in a fucking cage? And technically, if it's there to detect, like, I think it's like methane or some shit, right? That technically, if you're holding the fucking cage and the fucking is it a parakeet? Is that what I said? Whatever. Canary, not a fucking parakeet. What's the fucking difference? Is it what, just canaries are fucking yellow? If it fucking dies, then technically you're also gonna fucking die, right? Because you're basically sitting in the methane yourself, unless it kills them quicker. I guess if it's like, oh, you know, you got like a 30-second fucking head start, like, oh, the fucking canary died, we better fucking back up a few feet. You know, like, how does that work? Am I still talking about fucking birds over here? This is the effing podcast for those of you that for some fucking reason don't know what the hell you clicked on and what you're listening to. I usually do these a couple of times a week, sometimes Tuesday, or actually most of the time it's Tuesdays and Thursdays, but today's fucking Monday, so you know, you get a little fucking sooner than you asked for. And I'll probably give you more than 2 podcasts this week, simply because I haven't released a podcast in about a week or so, and that's just because old cunty McFuckface over here actually had to go to work, so I wasn't home like I usually am. So I didn't have fucking time. I wanted to. I thought about you guys dearly as I sat in my fucking office, pretending like I actually wanted to fucking be there. But yeah, I'll try. I mean, no, I'm not going to try. I'm definitely going to give you guys, more podcasts than usual this week, only because I feel bad whenever I miss fucking releasing some. So, Now, I don't make any guarantees on the quality of any of these podcasts, right? Because they could be funny. They could be, could be me talking about fucking birds and my dislike of them. It just, you never know what you're going to get with this podcast. So, I don't know. Who gives a shit, right? It pissed me off last week, and it's one of the things that I really wanted to fucking talk about on the podcast. Well, I didn't really want to talk about it. I just thought, like, it might be, or it might make for a funny or interesting hot take. Is that what people do now? Apparently, if you just have an opinion, it's now called a hot take. I don't know. Fucking people were, I guess, losing their shit because it came out that that old fucking Steven Spielberg over there, he, I don't know. I guess they found out that he had been working on like fucking Jurassic Park and Schindler's List at the same fucking time, and for some reason everybody thought this was fucking awesome, and that I don't know if they're planning on giving the guy a fucking award for it or whatever. I don't know. All I know is that people were tweeting about how awesome it was that he did these 2 things at once. And it's like, so basically, I mean, this is where we're at as a species, right? We're congratulating people for being able to basically walk and chew gum. Holy shit, fucking Steven Spielberg was able to sit in 2 chairs with a fucking megaphone and yell action. The guy, the fucking pure genius of it. Now, this is no knock to Steven Spielberg, although he is, at least as far as I've heard, recreating fucking West Side Story and turning that shit into a fucking movie. Or maybe it's a TV show. I don't know. Either one, it's a bad fucking idea. Can we just please stop? If we're gonna, I wish we'd stop with the reboots of shit. But if you're gonna reboot shit, at least reboot fucking good movies, or reboot shit that people actually want to fucking see. Now, I know that, there are some people out there that, either lighten the fucking loafers or, have a vagina, you know, that really appreciate musicals, but I don't. I've always hated fucking musicals. You know, just get to the fucking action. Shut the fuck up. I don't need you to sing your part to me. Just act it out and get this shit over with. I know that West Side Story is like, I don't know, was that like the very first fucking musical where everybody's like, holy shit, dude, you can create a whole fucking movie and you can sing in it and dance and still, for some reason, be considered tough guys. I mean, has anybody actually watched that fucking movie? They're supposed to be gang members, but they're fucking, you know, they're snapping and, you know, and they got their fucking collars flipped up and their white t-shirts and shit. Get the fuck out of here. There's no way I would ever be intimidated by some fucking guy that did like a, I don't know, what are the fucking moves? A fucking French tuck or some shit, you know, before we fought. It might, I mean, if anything, it might prevent the fight because I'll be laughing too fucking much. But there's no way that, you know, somebody walks up to me and is like, hey there, guy. I don't know. I can't do the fucking West Side Story shit, but you know what I mean. There's nothing intimidating about you know, dancing fucking hoodlums. And that's the fucking crazy thing. If you think about like, you know, I don't know when did that fucking movie come out? Like the 50s or 40s? I don't know. Like that was their idea of a fucking tough guy, right? Like, and you had a white fucking t-shirt underneath and you slicked your hair back. Fucking said shit like, hey. Isn't that what fucking the Fonz would say? Hey. You know, I don't do impressions, okay? You know, if you're looking for fucking impressions, then I don't know, go fucking find the guy from who does good fucking impressions? The guy, no, that dude makes the fucking sound effects. I was gonna say the guy from fucking Police Academy. I don't know. Find somebody that does impressions well, because you're not gonna find it here. You know. But yeah, it like. You know, and they had gangs that were like the Dragons, you know, or the Fifth Street Boys. Who would be afraid of these fucking clowns? Would you be like if you know, if suddenly you were alerted via the news that the Dragons had moved into town? And, you know, you should be on the lookout because their signature look is a fucking leather jacket and a white t-shirt and slick back hair and fucking high water jeans. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know. It cracks me up and really all it is it's not really like what society thought was fucking scary. Right? It wasn't that. It was basically, at least from back then, and it's still, you know, still now, it was basically what are white people afraid of? Right? Nothing was scarier to them than, I don't know, fucking Latin people. Were they Latin or were they afraid of Italians? I think it was Italians first, right? They're afraid of Italians. Nothing was scarier, even though Italians technically are white. But you know, back in those days, they for some reason they I don't know, fucking whiteness was like compartmentalized. I can't say the fucking word. Okay, you know, you might be smart enough to say these big fucking words. I'm not. You know, I don't have the fucking ability. I don't know if it's, you know, because I grew up in Boston. I don't know. But what I do know is the shit that white people are fucking afraid of. Like, if you watch any of the old fucking movies, right? Like, what's a good one? Besides fucking West Side Story, where it's just like, oh, we're afraid of fucking Latin people. The typical fucking, group like gang member fucking MO for those old movies was like you had to have the white dude that was just fucking bananas, right? Like, you know, I don't know. Well, they didn't really say fuck, and they didn't say bad words, but he was just definitely a fucking troublemaker. You had the stereotypical like Asian, or not Asian, Mexican gang member, right? Named Carlos. You had the black dude that for some reason always had like a headband on and fucking feathers, like like something that you would imagine Native Americans would fucking wear. They always had that guy, and I don't know. I guess that's about it, right? It was the crazy white guy, the black guy with the fucking fro, but the head with the headband on that had feathers in it. Am I basically just describing that fucking movie Bad Boys? Is it Bad Boys? Yeah, it is Bad Boys. Not fucking Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. I'm talking about the original fucking Bad Boys with Sean Penn. And I don't know. What the fuck am I talking about? I got lost in my own fucking thoughts there. Oh yeah, I was talking about fucking Spielberg, right? And everybody's congratulating him because he could do two things at once. I mean, multitasking really isn't... Like, if he was, I don't know, directing fucking Jurassic Park while, I don't know, juggling fucking chainsaws, then I'd be like, yeah, that guy's pretty fucking amazing. But sitting in a fucking chair with a megaphone, like a cheerleader, like an old school cheerleader when they had those gigantic fucking megaphones with the little handle on the side, doing that, it's not a hard fucking job. It really isn't. You want to impress me with multitasking, then show me the single mother who, show me her like morning fucking routine with her kids, right? Where she's cooking breakfast, she's fucking ironing shit, while feeding the fucking baby and, I don't know, washing dishes or some shit. It's just, I don't know. I'm not impressed by fucking Steven Spielberg ability to sit in two fucking chairs and yell action and cut. Oh, can we see that one more time? Fucking Daniel Day-Lewis. Which, by the way, I'm not shitting on. Daniel Day-Lewis, he makes, the guy's a fucking awesome actor. I was sold after the Gangs in New York when he played the butcher. Dude's a phenomenal fucking actor, but there's nothing impressive about Steven Spielberg's ability to sit in two chairs. It really fucking isn't. And the fact that people are like just mesmerized by his ability to do two things at once is just, it's fucking sad. Well, it's not sad. It pisses me off that this is what impresses people nowadays. You're impressed by his ability to fucking, sit there with some, do they wear monocles and shit? I don't know. If you watch all like the old fucking movies, right? There's always like the director. He's got like that little, little fucking tight twisted mustache, and he's got like a fucking monocle. He wears those fucking Barnum and Bailey fucking ringmaster pants. I think I've been watching too much TV lately. But yeah, fuck Steven Spielberg and his ability to. I don't know, whatever the fuck he is. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't make great movies. I never saw Schindler's List. Mostly because I'm not fucking interested. And it isn't because I'm a anti-Semite or any of that shit. It's just, some fucking movies I just don't give a shit. Like, I don't want to see fucking romantic comedies either. I don't. I mean, yeah, I am completely aware of the Holocaust and the horrific shit that went on. I'd much rather just read a fucking book about what happened rather than, watch a fucking movie on it. Unless it's a documentary, I'll watch that. But I don't want to see somebody's, interpretation of, what happened. Although I don't know. I mean, it was this guy Schindler. Who was Schindler? Was he the guy that was saving people, or was he like, was he the guy that was like fucking rounding up Jewish people? Like, why did he have a fucking list? Did he decide ahead of time? If he's the guy that was like rescuing people, right? I mean, you can tell I haven't seen the fucking movie. I have no idea what the fucking movie's about. I just know that there's a guy that helps Jewish people in the movie. Now, why he had a list, I don't know. Was it like a shopping list? Like, okay, we need a couple of fucking Goldsteins, and give me some. I don't know any other fucking Jewish names. I'm sorry, but it just I don't know. And I'm not shitting on on Jewish people or whatever. I haven't seen the fucking movie. I think I'm not a Holocaust denier. I think it's fucking horrific, the shit that went on, and it's interesting to me, not in the creepy fucking Adolf was not in the white nationalist fucking sort of way. The only thing that interests me about that time, well, not the only thing, but one of the things that interests me about when that took place was the fact that ordinary fucking Germans were, basically, I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. The fucking, I don't know a fucking good comparison, but, it amazes me that ordinary fucking people were convinced to create or, to commit such horrific fucking acts, To me, that's the interesting part of it. Not the acts themselves, but just the psychology it takes to convince somebody that ordinarily would never fucking do anything like that. To just get so fucking, I don't know, mesmerized by this idea of a white paradise or whatever it was that old fucking half a mustache there had planned. I don't know. I don't know, but, I find it fascinating. I find anything that, fucking Genghis Khan, wasn't he like a fucking, like the Hitler of the fucking, the Japanese era, the fucking, of Asia, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. All I know is that Steven Spielberg does not deserve a fucking award for sitting in 2 goddamn chairs. Okay? God. Have I been talking about this bullshit for 22 minutes? Does it... I was thinking I was making myself some fucking eggs. Some eggs. Over easy. I was making myself some fucking eggs this morning, and I was thinking, am I the only one that's fucking that's freaked out about the fact that, I mean, just as a guy, obviously women, this, I don't know, maybe it's gonna freak you out, I don't know, but guys, fellas, people with dicks that are listening to this podcast, does it freak you out at all that you're basically walking around with like the population of fucking China in your balls? I mean, what they said that like on average men have, I don't know, I'm guessing, at least 1 billion fucking sperm swimming around his fucking nutsack. And being that if you look at like the statistics of things, right, that's like 1 in 25 people, I think is the statistic. If I could fucking not sound like a complete idiot for like half a second, like 1 in 25 people are sociopaths or psychopaths, one or the other. There's at least over a couple of million fucking psychopaths swimming around in my nutsack right now. You know? That doesn't freak anybody else out. Like, do the sperm like, do the psychopath fucking sperm, are they like, are they like the bullies in my fucking ball bag? You know? They're swimming around with fucking, butcher knives made out of fucking, I don't know. I don't know what they would make it out of, but, am I the only one that's freaked out about the fact that I basically have an army of fucking, sociopaths swimming around in my little fucking man suitcase there. You know, I could repopulate, like, if the population of fucking China or even of the US, if the population of the US were wiped out, I hold the fucking key to recreating the fucking the population, right? Now, I understand that obviously if I get a woman pregnant, I mean, I have 2 fucking kids. I understand how the fucking biology works, but, it's not like every time I would, although I can't anyway, because I got a fucking vasectomy over there because I don't want any more fucking children. But, let's say that I didn't fucking do that. By the way, fellas, if you're one of those dudes that's like, oh, I don't know if I really want to fucking do that. It's, the typical fucking myths, right? Like, oh, you're not gonna have the same fucking drive that you had prior to getting fucking snipped, or that you're not, like, for me, I struggled with getting it done only because I was convinced, right, that if you get it done, that you would no longer be able to what's a good way of you would no longer be able to deliver the mail, so to speak, deliver the package, drop the kids off in the garage. I was concerned that basically, not that you wouldn't have a fucking orgasm, but just that nothing would come out. And to me that seemed like, well, that might hurt, just having a dry heave version of an orgasm. Am I making anybody else uncomfortable with my use of the word orgasm? That was my concern, right? But then I talked to my neighbor who had it done, and he was like, fucking nothing fucking changes, right? The only thing that changes is you can now fucking bang freely, as long as whoever you're fucking banging, is either on birth control or whatever. And, of course, you don't want to just bang freely because, without protection. But, let's say that you have a significant other. You can fucking do it without worry. To me, that was the upside, right? So, fellas, if you're like, I don't know. First of all, forcing your girl to do it, to go get I don't even know what the fuck they call it, hysterectomy, is that what it is, where they fucking tie the fucking tubes or whatever of women. It's such an invasive fucking surgery for them, and for them it is a surgery, which means they are in the hospital for at least a few fucking days, right? Me, when I got it done, I was fucking in and out of the fucking office in probably about 20 fucking minutes. That's how fucking quick and easy it is. And, I'm not going to pretend like, oh, there's no fucking discomfort. When they first clip the fucking, the vas deferens, it kind of feels like if you've ever been kicked in the balls, it doesn't feel like you've been kicked in the balls, but it kind of feels like the after effects, right? Where there's still a little fucking soreness, but it's not like agonizing. It kind of feels like that for like a split fucking second. And then literally by the end of the fucking day, I got it done like, I don't know, 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. By the end of the day, I didn't feel shit. There was no, you know, like you don't have to walk around with fucking ice on your shit and all of that, unless there's some sort of fucking swelling or whatever. But even then, I don't think it would be painful. You know, it's fucking nothing. It's not what you're fucking imagining. And I don't know why I'm fucking talking about this shit, but, you know, if you want, you know, the experience of somebody who's had it fucking done, nothing fucking changes. Nothing. Not the way it feels when you bust one out. Not the consistency of the goo. Nothing fucking changes. The only thing that changes is you now don't have to worry about getting a girl pregnant. That's pretty much it. Everything else is fine. The only thing is for the first 2 weeks. I know you're like, oh, but I knew there was some little fucking hidden thing for like, I think it's like for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I'm not really sure. You know, you can't have sex, not because you're not able to, but just because there might be some sort of residual fucking live swimmers that might come out. So it would just be a good idea to not fucking do it. And you basically are told, like here's the fucking procedure, right? You get fucking clipped, you know, and you go home. They say probably about, I don't know, a day or two, maybe up to 3 days. I'm not really sure. You know, there's no fucking, you don't pleasure yourself. You don't do any of that shit, right? After about day 3 or so, you know, they tell you to bust at least like 50 fucking nuts, right? And, you know, obviously not in the same fucking day, but, you know, over a period of time. That's why it could be, you know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on how, you know, how many times you can fucking, you can do it, right? On the last one, you're supposed to, you know, bust into a cup and bring it to the doctor's office, and they will do a check to see if there are any, you know, live sperm in your semen. And if there's not, you know, they'll probably let you know within a day or two. If there's not, then you are free to, bang out, or to fucking bang out. You know, you're free to fucking have sex all you want after that point. You know, it's really fucking simple, and you get lots of you time. So, you know, fellas, if you're like, I don't want any fucking kids anymore, you know, then just go get it fucking done. Nothing changed. Do I sound like, you know, like, I don't know, did I fucking sit around eating fucking bonbons, watching soap operas over here? Nothing fucking changes. Nothing. Still feels the same. I don't know any fucking, I don't feel any fucking different. You know, I didn't feel it after I got it done. I don't feel it now. You know, it just, you know, don't make your girl fucking, you know, go and get that surgery and shit just because you're too afraid that, you know, I don't know, it's gonna, you know, they're not gonna like accidentally fucking, you know, cut your dick off and create a vagina there. You know, it's a very fucking simple fucking procedure. And like I said, I was in and out in like 20 fucking minutes. Oh, God. What? Have I been talking about fucking ball sacks for the past 10, 15 minutes? I don't know. Maybe I should end it here. I think I will. I had other shit that I wanted to fucking talk about, but, you know, I think I'm ending, you know, I'm at a good spot. You know, I did my little public service announcement. Guys, go get your fucking nuts clipped. So your women don't have to. But yeah, it is kind of fucking weird, right? That you're walking around with a whole fucking community in your ball sack, right? I mean, if they wanted to, right? They, you know, if they did like the what is it, the artificial insemination or the test tube fucking babies or whatever the fuck. I mean, technically they could, just from one fucking orgasm, they could recreate the fucking population of California if they needed to, right? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I hope you had a good weekend. It was fucking Easter yesterday, and I don't know. What do people do on fucking Easter? I mean, you know, when I was a kid, we did the fucking, the egg hunting and all that shit. And, you know, we'd spend most of the fucking day in church, to be honest. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know what are you supposed to do when you're adult? Yes, I have kids, but they're old enough. They know that there's no such thing as a fucking Easter bunny and all of that shit. And I apologize if somebody happens to be listening to this and they have a kid sitting next to them. Although I don't know why you would, right? If you're the type of person that's going to listen to this shit and you didn't turn it off when I started talking about ball sacks, then you probably don't love your kid all that much. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, I hope you had a good weekend. I will probably give you another podcast either tomorrow or Wednesday. And yeah, so fucking be on the lookout for that or not. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I'll talk to you fucking later. All right. Take it easy. Don't take any shit and go fuck yourself. Peace.